Good morning, my crafty friends. This is Michelle with the Southern Shell, and I am here to share with you how to make these beautiful cards. I'm making some Mother's Day cards, and this is going to go to my mother-in-law and to my mom. And so I'm going to show you how I put these together. Aren't they just pretty? Okay, let's go over a few things that we have first. All right, so for the hands, I have this Spellbinders heart hands, and they look like this. You have the inside hands and then you have the outside hands. And what that does is it gives you, I've got them in here, it gives you a base. Gives you a nice little base, like right here, and then I cut it out again in the flesh tone. I'm going to use the other one, yeah. And that will set right over the top of that, just like that. And I'll go over more of it in the video. I did cut it out again in some vellum to make it look like a little lace glove, so I really like the way they turned out. So I went from that to that to that. So there are, that's the hands, Spellbinders, and this was one of my monthly club kits. Let's see if I can find it. December 2020. So I get that off to the side. I have this one here, and this is a mom, and I've cut it out here, and it has the shadow, which is right there, and then it has the words, which are right here. And I honestly don't know which kit this is from, so I'm really sorry about that. This could be a tonic, it could be a Simon Says stamp. I'm sorry, I don't know. It was on my June, I think it was 2017 for my Spellbinders, but I didn't see that actual one in on the picture, so I'm not sure where that came from. But there's my mom die. And then I have my thank you and my heart were on the same one as well. And this one is Spellbinders May 2018. So that's where that one's from. And that's my thank you. And I cut that out a few times here. And it just cuts out and gives you a line so you can trim it or put it at the bottom of a card or whatever you want to do, but it does not cut totally out. It just cuts out that top outline so you can layer it. And there's my thank you, and that was Spellbinders, May 2018. And then for the hearts, this was as well in with my May 2018. And I'm going to show you how to go ahead and use the tape to get it out so that all your little pieces will stay right on in there. So I have my piece of tape, and what I've done is I put it on so it takes a little bit of the sticky off. I'm going to put it right over, that's where you put it down on, and you cut it out, and I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to lay my tape across that back side and cut it or pull it off, and then do another piece. And I'm just going to rub that down so that now when I go to pop it out, it's going to stick to that paper so that I can go ahead and paper piece that with a little more ease. So I'm just going to pop out a little, get it started a little bit. So I'm just going to now lift that. Of course, there's a couple little pieces that stayed in there, so I'm just going to put that right on over and push those on down. There we go. All our little pieces are out, and now I've got my heart cut and ready to paper piece if that's what I want to do. So there's all the die pieces. And now I'll show you how we get started with this. So because this card has so many layers on it, I am going to go ahead and stamp the inside first so that if I somehow mess up on that, I am not having to redo this whole card. So I am using this Simon Says Stamp Mom's Clematis. I don't know, I'm sorry. Simon Says Stamp 101860. Thank you for being my example in life and loving me for who I am. We're just going to use something simple. So I'm going to get this. And I have my card bases, my 5x7 card base. And this is going to be in the middle, and I'm going to put a couple other stamps in there to make it. So let's do it upside down so that I can just use the magnets and get this down where it needs to be. Get it all the way in there. And thank you. And let's just make sure that that is straight. So I'm going to put it straight on there. Let me put a scrap down real quick. That's actually not bad. Okay. So let's go ahead and get everything back into where it needs to be. Magnets all down. I know I'm on my platform and that's not going to show up, but pressed on down. And beautiful. There we go. I'm wondering if I should do any flowers or anything on top. We'll see. I'll just take it from there. I think I may do something up there. Let's go ahead and do that. I have hearts on the front. I went ahead and picked up my journaling stamp set. I really don't know where I got it from, probably Walmart, and it's just a simple journaling stamp set, and it has some different hearts on it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do some little hearts here and there. Alrighty. Close that up, pick those hearts up. And since I have the pinks, I'm going to go ahead and go with pinks. Go with this Memento Rosebud. We've got over there, there, and there. Okay. Let's put those on down. And drop it on down. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. For this step, I am going to use this Tonic Studios Sweetheart Stencil. And let me see what's going to be the best way for you to see it. And since I'm going with the hearts on the card, I thought this would be the best option. And because I've got some of that metallic silver on there, I'm going to use some embossing mousse. I'm just going to put this down on here. I'm going to center it on my card. Get it centered first. Get that on my card real well. Now we're going to have other items on this, so you know we're just going to do a roundabout there. And that looks pretty good for me. And I'm going to go ahead and tape it down so it's not moving. I'm going to use this embellishment mousse by Nuvo, and it's metallic. Since we're using the silver, I thought this would be the best way to go. Now, when you're opening this, you know, just be careful with your packaging. If, you know, in order for this not to dry out, you want to make sure that you're either putting that foil back down and making sure that it's sealed real well, or you're going to put some like plastic wrap over it. And I'm going to go ahead and put plastic wrap over mine. So I'm just going to take this little plastic knife, and I'm just going to put this down on my stencil. And I'm going to come in with my little Cricut spatula here. And I'm just going to drag that. Alrighty. Get that up, and look how beautiful that is. Oh, I love it. I love it. So let's get this cleaned up, and I'll be right back. Okay, let's get moving on this card. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim up my edges so they're nice and straight on the pink card that I did the silver embossing on. Get that out of the way. Now I'm going to go ahead and get it on our base. I'm going to use some ATG. And center that as best I can. Okay, now I have a piece of this white and pink polka dot that we used on the base. And we're going to go ahead and add a little strip to our thank you. And that's going to go right at the top of our card. Right on up there. And now I have, let's get our other die pieces out here. I have our hands and our mom. The rest of our little finger pieces are right there. Let's get our little mom piece glued on. And this is going to go on our little silver piece right here. And that's going to go right down here. I don't want too much glue. I don't want it to pop out, but I want it to also stay down. Tap it just a little bit. And then we're going to line it up and push it on down. There we go. Look at there. One little spot, not too shabby. Okay, let's get our mom on. And our mom's gonna go right at the bottom. Now I want to get our hands ready. We're going to put our lace pieces aside, and we're going to get our hands glued together. Now when you do a die cut, you have a spot, an edge that you can tell where the die pressed down because you have the smoother side. The other side is going to have a rough edge. So I know that that's the top. And so I know that's the top. And these are my tops. And so these hands are going to glue right on top of my pink ones. Line up our little fingers, and we know we have a little border all the way around. There we go. Same on our other hand. Okay, let's get our little finger pieces on there. Little dab of glue. And let me get my little embellishing tool here. And the little folded piece goes on the part closest, pointing into the hand. There's one. And there's two. And just situate it a little bit with your fingers. And slide right on into place. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and get our little gloves ready. You can tell the same thing. We have one, and two, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue along the edge of the hand here because I'm going to put our little pearls there. After I get that on there, we'll do a little more dabs on a couple other areas. But let's make sure that we've got our little ruffles at the bottom lined up and our fingers at the top lined up. And there's that. Let that dry. Let's get our little ruffles and our fingers and press that on down. Well, there's that. Now these are the die cuts of the little hearts I did. I did in 3 different colors. I have tape on the back that helps hold the little pieces into place. I am not going to do an inlay on this one. I just want the outsides, but I want to be able to use the inlaid pieces on others if I choose. So let's go ahead and get that. Alrighty. There's my silver one. And there we go. Look at that. And now I have the hearts still in place that I can use for another project. Okay. So for here, I am just going to take my hearts and I'm going to glue these 2 right in the center. And I want this one right under that little heart at the top of that stencil. There we go. And I'm going to do the same with the pink one, but I'm going to layer it right underneath. And this one's going to go right on top. I'm just going to layer it and center it right on down. Now my hands are going to go right on over the tops of these hearts. And they are going to meet. I've got little spots here that I want them to meet at. I've got this little part here and that little part at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and cover the back with my glue. And I'm going to meet that first finger on the top of that little cutout. and the second finger at the bottom of that little cutout, at that little cutout in the pink heart. Move it on over just a little bit so they're right in the center of the crisscrosses. You see there. Okay, do the same thing with the other hand. I'm going to make sure it's matched at that little mark, and the same down at the bottom one, and press that on down. Now we have our hands making our heart. I am going to add just a dab of glue, a little strategically on those fingers, so that helps hold it down on that outside. Same over here. And then our silver heart is going to get glued right on top. So the last few things I have to do on this one is to get our silver heart glued down right between the hands, and it's going to hold down the vellum on these, the forefinger and the thumbs. So I don't want glue to be seeping through, so I'm going to actually put some on my hand. There we go. I'm just going to put some on my hand. And then I'm just going to kind of just tap that and drag it so I don't have any glue sticking out. And I want it to be right in the center of those hearts in that hand. I'm just going to press that on down there. Let that glue grab. And now I can go ahead and get my little pearls on. I have these very small Recollection pearls, and I am going to use my little Spellbinder tool here. We're going to line them up right on the edge of that glove. All right, there we have it. What do you think? I think that turned out just beautiful. And you open it up and you have "Thank you for being my example in life and loving me for who I am." Well, guys, that is the step-by-step instructions on how to create these cards that I made out of different dies from different seasons. You know, you can do you don't have to use the hands, you don't have to use the hearts. Just think about your layering, look at what you have. That's all I did, is I sat down and I looked through my inventory of dies and stamps and came up with this, and I really like the way it turned out. So if you would like to win one of these, I am involved in a collaboration for Mom's Day, and it's called Mom's the Word, and I will link my video below explaining the collab and how you can win one of the cards and maybe even a small gift, all handmade. And on that video you'll have the rules, and you'll have a link to all the other ladies that are actually doing the challenge with me. So you have a chance to win some beautiful handmade items. If you've not subscribed to my channel, I do hope you consider doing so. I would love to have you as part of my crafty family. If you do, hit that bell button and you'll be notified when I'm uploading a new video. So you will be the first to know when I'm doing anything out of the box. As always, guys, stay safe, God bless, and bye for now.